Hey everyone, welcome back to the GTX Camping and Outdoors YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Victoria and I am the owner and founder of GTX Camping and Outdoors Online. We are an e-commerce shop specializing in camping and survival gear. We were officially established in July 2023. Now last week we announced a new series where each week we will release a new video going over potential scenarios and how you and your family can best prepare for those scenarios. Now, since we are officially in spring, aka storm season, I figured the best way to kick off this series is by going over tornado preparedness and how you can best prepare for tornadoes. Now each week we will be releasing new videos, but on top of the preparedness videos, we will also be going a little bit more in depth of everything that I list here today. So if you would, go ahead and give us a like, give this video a like, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all of our new videos. Now to start off with, we're going to look at 72 hours worth of water, 72 hours worth of food, and water purification. Now, the CDC recommends keeping 72 hours worth of food and water on hand in the event of an emergency. And that's just in case there's limited resources, or it might take first responders or emergency personnel to respond. In an emergency situation, you want to make sure you are hydrated and well fed. With the food, I recommend keeping on hand some of the high-calorie food bars that you can get. They're like the SOS or Mayday bars. They're small enough that you can keep them in your pocket or your bag, and they don't take up a lot of room. For water purification, there are a number of different ways that you can purify water. They have the life straws, purification tablets. I personally like the Sawyer squeeze purification. That's what I keep in my bag, and that's what I use. And that's just in the event that your water sources become contaminated. So you always want to make sure you have a way to purify that water just in case, because the last thing you want to do in the event of an emergency is risk drinking contaminated water, get you sick, get your loved ones sick. So you definitely want to avoid that. And if you are going to keep a bunch of plastic jugs or water bottles on hand with water, I do recommend rotating those regularly. Next up is going to be a good working flashlight, emergency radio, and extra batteries. I put two pictures up of a couple of the ones that we keep of the emergency radios. One is a crank and battery powered, and then the little one is just battery powered. Now, flashlights, that should be a no-brainer. You always want to keep extra flashlights on hand so you can see. In our storm shelter, we also have lights that we have hung up on the wall with Velcro. We just use the little Velcro strips that stick onto the wall. And we like those because in the event of an emergency, we can remain hands-free. That's also why I like that little radio down on the corner of your screen there. I like it because it's small and it also has a belt clip on there, so I can just stick it onto my belt loop or my pocket and remain hands-free. Obviously, you want to keep extra batteries on hand at all times, because I recommend keeping 2 or 3 extra sets because the last thing you want in an emergency is to run out of batteries. Next up is going to be a whistle with a lanyard and tools. For the whistle, I always recommend keeping these on hand because just in case you get trapped in your storm shelter, debris gets blown on there, you can't open the door. You want something that's going to make a lot of noise to get first responders and emergency personnel's attention, so that way they can find you quickly. Tools, we keep tools down in our storm shelter, so that way if anything happens or door gets jammed, we can pop the hinges off and pop that door off. Next thing up is going to be a good solid first aid kit. You're going to want to keep a variety of different things on hand. This is actually an emergency kit, which you see on your screen that we sell. And this is one of the kits. This kit will be on sale this week through Friday the 29th. That is going to be Good Friday. And that'll be $5 off. It'll be $39.99 for the remainder of the week. But anyway, back to what I recommend keeping in your first aid kit. I recommend keeping extra gauze, roll gauze, just little gauze pads, non-stick pads, in my emergency kit, and also along with what I sell, I also keep a 40-inch by 40-inch bandage that can be used as an arm sling, a good pair of bandage scissors, elastic bandages, isopropyl, I can never say that word, alcohol, iodine wipes, and hand sanitizer, and an assortment of band-aid sizes. And if you go back and look, we also do have a separate video going strictly over what's in that emergency kit. Next up, shelter, good pair of gloves, extra clothes, and a solid pair of shoes. For shelter, that kind of ties in with clothes as well. It's protecting your body, keeping you safe and out of the elements. I keep, it's going to sound a little goofy, but I actually keep a clear shower curtain that I got from the Dollar Tree in my bag. It's just something that if anything happens, we can hang that up over some trees or whatever and help kind of keep the rain off of us a little bit. Good pair of gloves in an emergency, a tornado, whatever. There's no telling what's going to be all over that debris, dirt, contaminants, bacteria. Last thing you want is to cut your hands and get that stuff in those cuts and have it get infected, especially in an emergency. Extra clothes, I recommend keeping an extra pair of socks, underwear, and an extra shirt, long sleeve shirt or jacket, so that way in the event of an emergency you still have a clean pair of clothes to change into after the fact, and that's going to kind of come into health and personal hygiene. And a solid pair of shoes. I keep a steel-toed pair of shoes. They're steel-toe, slip resistant, and oil and water resistant pair of shoes on hand, so that way my feet are protected from walking over debris or rocks. Personal hygiene, that's going to be, again, hand sanitizer, clean change of clothes, hand soap, bars of soap. It's little things that you wouldn't think about keeping on hand, but that you're going to want in the event of an emergency. And that's just going to help you stay healthy. I also recommend keeping a small container of deodorant in your bag as well, a small deal of toothpaste, and a small little portable toothbrush, because you really want to be able to keep your hygiene up in an emergency situation, so that way you are not risking getting sick. And that's going to end this week's video. I know it's kind of quick. I didn't want to take up too much of y'all's time. But again, everything listed in this video today, we will be going more into depth in other videos. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that way you don't miss out on those videos and a little bit more information on what we have listed today. So if you would like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, where we regularly post sales, our inventory, what we're adding, taking off, and Facebook is kind of where we post most of our news and updates. So if you would like us and follow us there as well. And again, the emergency kits on our website that you saw earlier in the first aid portion, those are going to be $5 off. So they will be $39.99. That includes the IFAC pouch. You can choose your color. Right now we have black, khaki, and army green in stock. And those are the colors you have to choose from right now. I would also like to say that we also have a military discount. It is 15% off. So if you are current or former military, if you will send us a message on Facebook, we will give you that code as well. Y'all have a